An algorithm that has traditionally been called uniform cost search, but could be called cheapest first search, is guaranteed to find the path with the cheapest total cost. Let's see how it works. We start out as before in the start state, and we pop that empty path off, move it from the frontier to explored, and then add in the paths out of that state. As before, there'll be 3 of those paths. And now, which path are we going to pick next in order to expand, according to the rules of cheapest first?
Title of this page is Uniform Cost Search. It is also called Cheapest First Search. It shows the same road network in Romania. The figure shows Arad is in the explored set. Its 3 neighbors, Ziran, Cebu, and Timisoara, are in the frontier.
Cheapest first says that we pick the path with the lowest total cost, and that would be this path. It has a cost of 75 compared to the cost of 118 and 140 for the other paths. So we get here, we take that path off the frontier, put it on the explored list, add in its neighbors, not going back to Arad, but adding in this new path, summing up the total cost of that path. 71 plus 75 is 146 for this path. And now the question is, which path gets expanded next?
The cost from Arad to Ziran is 75. The cost from Arad to Timisoara is 118. The cost from Arad to Cebu is 140. So we add Ziran to the explored set and add its neighbor Aradia to the frontier. The cost from Ziran to Aradia is 71. So the cost from Arad to Aradia via Ziran is 146.
Of the 3 paths on the frontier, we have ones with the cost of 146, 140, and 118, and that's the cheapest. So this one gets expanded. We take it off the frontier, move it to explored, add in its successors. In this case, it's only 1, and that has a path total of 229.
The total cost of Timisoara is 118, so it is removed from the frontier and added to the explored set. Its neighbor Lago is added to the frontier. The cost from Timisoara to Lago is 111. The total cost from Arad to Lago is 229.
Which path do we expand next? Well, we got 146, 140, and 229. So 140 is the lowest. Take it off the frontier, put it on explored, add in this path, with total cost 220, and this path, with total cost 239. And now the question is, which path do we expand next?
The total cost of Fagras is 239. The total cost of RV is 220. The total cost of Largo is 229, and the total cost of Aradia is 146.
The answer is this one, 146. Put it on explored, but there's nothing to add because both of its neighbors have already been explored. Which path do we look at next? The answer is this one, 220 is less than 229 or 239. Take it off the frontier, put it on explored, add in 2 more paths, and sum them up. So 220 plus 146, it's 366, and 220 plus 97 is 317.
RV is removed from the frontier and added to the explored set. Its two neighbors are added to the frontier. Now the frontier has 4 cities. Largo has cost 229. Craiova has cost 366. Ptesting has cost 317. Figueras has cost 239.
Okay, and now notice that we're closing in on Bucharest. We've got 2 neighbors almost there, but neither of them is their turn yet. Instead, the cheapest path is this one over here. So move it to the explored list, add 70 to the path cost so far, and we get 299.
Largo is removed from the frontier, and its neighbor Mehadia is added to the frontier. Mehadia has cost 299.
Now the cheapest node is 239 here, so we expand finally into Bucharest at a cost of 460, and now the question is, are we done? Can we terminate the algorithm?
Figueras is removed from the frontier, and its neighbor Bucharest is added to the frontier. The total cost of Bucharest is 460.
And the answer is no, we're not done yet. We put Bucharest, the goal state, onto the frontier, but we haven't popped it off the frontier yet. And the reason is because we got to look around and see if there's a better path that can reach Bucharest. And so let's continue. Look at everything on the frontier. Here's the cheapest one over here. Expand that.
Mehadia is removed from the frontier. Its neighbor Drobeta is added to the frontier with cost 374.
Now, what's the cheapest next one? Well, over here. Oops, forgot to take this one off the list. So now we're at 317 plus 101 gives us another path into Bucharest, and this is a better path. This is 418, gives us another route in.
Ptesting is removed from the frontier. The cost of Bucharest is updated to 418.
But we have to keep going. The best path on the frontier is 366. So pop that off. And that would give us 2 more routes into here. And eventually we'd pop off all of these. And then we'd get to the point where 418 was the best path on the frontier. We'd pop that off. And then we'd recognize that we'd reached the goal. And the reason that uniform cost finds the optimal path, the cheapest cost, is because it's guaranteed that it will first pop off this cheapest path, the 418, before it gets to the more expensive path, like the 460.